Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Greg Marshall, and I'm here with
Dr. Cameron Garber.
Nice, and he's going to go ahead and ask me some questions that I know a lot of you probably have on your mind because this is not something new. So, what are those questions?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that I've heard about social media marketing, or what other clinicians have told me, is don't spend money there. It's useless. It doesn't drive butts in the door. And the last clinic I worked at, they're like, oh, we've spent thousands of dollars trying it out and it didn't work for us.
Yep.
So what do you tell somebody
So
like
what
that?
do I say? So
Yeah.
I like this question because typically what it is the marketing campaigns that were created didn't work.
Yeah.
That's the issue. It's not that Facebook doesn't work or Instagram or YouTube,
Right.
email, billboard. It's never any of that. It's always the messaging and the targeting. So the skill level of the business owner and the marketer is what determines whether a campaign works or not. Because here's my simple answer for this.
Right.
And hopefully you guys are listening closely on this one.
Right.
If it were as easy as just putting money into a money machine, everyone would be billionaires. So there'd be no need for marketing help. You just put the money in and make millions of dollars.
Right.
That's how people sometimes view advertising. Like, I put the money, it doesn't work.
Right.
And you have to fine tune. And so in order to kind of overcome that, as far as like if it didn't work for you in the past, start with your messaging and your targeting.
Okay.
So you probably, a big mistake people make, they have too big of an audience.
Okay.
So they try to do this approach of, I'm going to hit everyone in the world.
And
hopefully,
see who comes out of the woodwork. Yeah.
And the problem with that is if your messaging is too general and it's not speaking to anyone, then you don't get any responses. You don't get any responses, you don't make any money.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's just as clear as that. So
that's right. Yeah.
If you feel that something's not working, there could be different channels that may work better. But if it didn't work on Facebook and you try to go somewhere else and try, I can almost guarantee your marketing's not working and other places as well.
Right.
Because your messaging is off.
Right. That makes a ton of sense. Yeah, you can't just say, well, we live in the city, so we're going to advertise to everybody in the city, because not everybody wants what you're selling.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. So I've had limited success. So I've had some campaigns that have gone gangbusters and done really well, and then I've had some that are, not functioning as well. And so, not that I've spent thousands of dollars that haven't been productive. I'm kind of middle of the road of like, I do think that it's effective, but I need help making it effective. So what do you tell a guy like me that's not necessarily skeptical, but is like, I haven't figured it out yet?
Yep. So here's another thing to pay very close attention to. So typically what happens is if you find something that succeeds, and this is a huge mistake I see a lot, the marketer or the business owner tends to get bored or thinks that the campaign is done.
Yeah.
And that is a massive mistake, because what you want to do is when you find something that works, you want to use a method called the stacking method, which is you want to take that ad and keep finding new audiences and creating lookalike audiences and finding more people who will resonate with that, as opposed to just using it once, getting bored because you're tired of looking at it, and moving on to the next thing. You want to take that campaign and use it for as long as humanly possible to drive your business.
If it's working, tweak it as needed, but keep using it. Huh?
The other thing is they're not testing enough. So I typically, I have standard goals of each week. I'm trying to do a minimum of 10 new tests a week. 10. And you may think, well, wouldn't that get expensive? Yes, if you're doing it wrong. So I do small tests. So I do $5 to $10, and just keep testing to see. And what I'm looking for is the audience and the message. Those are like the two things that I really pay the most attention to. If I have a good message, then I start testing different audiences. And then if I start finding them to work out, I'll just keep scaling those out until it's working.
So once you find one that works, then you start putting real money behind it.
Exactly. Because one of the things that you can't be afraid to do is once you find something that works, you want to try to open that budget up a little bit because it's proven to work. If you wait too long or you don't take advantage of it and another advertiser comes in, remember, you're competing against other people trying to get in front of the same person.
Yeah.
So if you're spending only a few dollars a day and you have something that's working and someone else figures out that is working and they come in and go, I'm going to spend $500 a day.
Yeah.
You lose.
Yeah, and they buy out that time
Yep.
that you could have been in front of people.
Yep.
Perfect.
So once you find something that works, make sure to invest. Don't be afraid. You're seeing that it's working, so put the money behind it.
Definitely. So what do you tell people that are kind of afraid to invest, that are kind of nervous about, you know, especially when budgets are small, or even companies that have tried it before, you know, quote unquote tried it before? How do you help them get off that ledge of like, oh, I don't know if I want to put that kind of money towards it?
So what I typically do is I recommend, one, I've had a couple of clients who get like, they go through the whole process and then they don't click the button.
Yeah.
So one of them is I will actually have them start the ad at night before they go to sleep and make them go to bed. And then when they wake up the next morning, take a look and see how it's performing.
Yeah.
And just let it run. And then I just kind of walk and coach them through and say, just be careful. The other thing is I try to make them understand, like, okay, how much money are you spending right now on miscellaneous things that you don't even care about? That's not going to ever make you money.
Right.
And I go like, do you go out to dinner? Are you doing this? Well, you easily spend $20, $30, $40 a day on stuff that will never bring you another dollar back.
Yeah.
So
that's so true.
Why is it that you're not afraid to spend it there?
Right.
And that's a terrible investment. It's never going to bring you money back.
Right.
But when you go to something that can make you money back, you're being very tight on your cash.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing. It's like if I said, you give me $1, I'll give you $2. You do that all day long. You'd hurt yourself trying to give me enough dollars, right?
Yep.
But yeah, with marketing, we don't tend to do that.
And the other thing too is you have to switch your mindset from how do I spend as little as possible, to how do I spend as much as possible profitably.
Right.
That's a different mindset because no one, unless you have very rich, successful marketing, experts as your parents growing up.
Right.
You're typically not taught to spend a lot of money. You're typically save, hoard, what is it? A penny saved is a penny earned. You get all those phrases?
Yeah, definitely.
And so you get that mindset of just hold on to everything for dear life. But it's weird because then the same people who teach you to do that, our parents, are the same people who also teach you, take out credit cards.
Right.
Just go ahead and get a student loan. Just go ahead and spend money doing this and go out and just hang out with your friends.
Right.
So
it just depends on what you value.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, interesting. So along those lines, shoot, I can't remember what I was going to say. Dang it. I hate that.
No, you're good. So along those lines about how to not be afraid to spend money or to invest in your business. If you are nervous, just start small.
Yeah.
It's like working out. Don't go in and try to do 300-pound bench press the first day. Just
right.
Do 25.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So I was like, the one thing that I love about Facebook marketing that isn't the same as any other type of marketing, Facebook or Instagram or social media marketing, is you can stop it at any time. If you go and do a huge commercial and do a big campaign on the TV, you spent that money and it's done, and you just have to sit there and watch it flop from your couch at home like, oh no, this commercial did not work, right? Whereas with Facebook, it's like, I'm watching it, hey, this one's not working, this one is working, I'm going to turn off this one that's not working, and it's no longer costing me money, right? So as soon as you notice, it doesn't have to keep costing you money, you can retarget, retest, and make sure that you're only spending money on things that are effective.
Exactly. It's a great way to manage your costs.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, the way to look at billboards and TV, here's the other objection I get a lot is, I don't do social media because I don't know about the return on investment, but they do billboards and TV, and I say, well, how many clicks did you get to your website? Well, I don't know.
Right.
So how come TV or billboard is exempt from being trackable in ROI versus social media?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, you have no idea what you got from the TV, right?
And a lot of times too, you have to be careful with kind of that shotgun approach of no strategy whatsoever when you're going into your market. That's why I always say great marketing comes from great research.
Yeah.
You want to spend more time on the research and
Right.
figuring out who the client is first
Yeah.
before you spend any money. Because, like I said, this isn't a cash machine where you could just put unlimited amounts of funds in there with no research and no thought to it, and then money comes back to you.
Yeah.
This is that's why there are marketing professionals, and that's why some businesses are more successful than others. So, like, you look at Jeff Bezos, he has a very famous phrase, I think, amongst entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
Which is, your profit margin is my opportunity. And Jeff Bezos has been asked many times, year after year after year, he reinvests all of his profits to speed up for massive growth.
Huh.
There's a reason why Amazon is bigger than
huge.
Joe's online store down the
Right.
street, because Jeff is thinking, how do I spend as much? How do I
Right.
reinvest and put as much
All of
money
it
into
back into Amazon. Oh yeah.
versus Joe down the street is saying, how do I take out as much money of my business as possible?
Right.
Two different mindsets.
Yeah, definitely different mindsets, and it's not that he's not living large,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
But he's saying, how large do I need to live?
Yeah.
And then I can reinvest all the
Exactly.
rest of it,
Exactly.
and it's amazing what Amazon's
Yeah.
doing, right?
So
Yeah, that's
reinvestment, look at everything. You don't want to be reckless. Okay, this isn't a speech of like just take all your money and just blow it. It's
Right.
about having a strategy and knowing what your objectives are,
Right.
and then taking calculated risks
Right.
on how much money I put in versus how much I get back.
Nice.
Reassess and keep moving forward.
Perfect.
So
Awesome. Yeah, that's great advice. So that's super helpful for me for sure.
yeah, well, hopefully that helped you guys out. Feel free to reach out to me, send me a message, like, comment, subscribe, do everything that you see in all the social medias, and we'll talk to you later.